I said I would be fine if Aaron Judge won the MVP. He put up great numbers. His numbers, a lot better than Cal Raleigh, except for the home runs. Here's the question I would ask when Yankee fans get sensitive about this. If Aaron Judge was on Seattle and Cal Raleigh was on the Yankees, who wins MVP? And that's a rhetorical question because we know that Cal Raleigh, as catcher of the Yankees, and he is a Gold Glove catcher, he is going to be your MVP. Right? They would talk about, oh my gosh, he's the next Thurman Munson. I mean, we know this played a role. Now, Aaron Judge can be a liability in the field. He's not a good outfielder. He's a great hitter. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Cal Raleigh plays the most important position in baseball. He's out there every single day. Look at that pitching staff. He helped develop a very good young pitching staff. They made the playoffs. I got to factor in all of those things. But I think the hammer is if Cal Raleigh was the catcher for the Yankees, hitting 60 home runs, winning the division, developing a young pitching staff, being a Gold Glove catcher, he wins the MVP. Aaron Judge is great. The numbers are phenomenal. Batting average was, probably 50 points higher. I understand all of those things. The hardest position, most important position, you got a Gold Glove catcher and 60 home runs. Okay? You know how many games he missed? 3. I don't know if he gets another chance. That's not why I would say, he deserved the MVP. I would just say we forget when you're a catcher. I mean, you never get a day off when you catch. I can put Aaron Judge in the outfield, and he might get 4 balls hit his way. We've seen him, in the playoffs be a liability out there. But it's not really about he's not a great fielder. It's that Cal Raleigh is a really good catcher, and he hits 60 home runs. And I don't want this to be that I'm anti-Judge as much as I just think you got to factor in where Cal Raleigh was doing this in Seattle and the importance of doing it in a big market. Now, Ohtani could play anywhere and still win the MVP. But, he did it with the Angels. But I think Cal Raleigh, to me, location is what prevented him from winning the MVP. Yes, Marvin.
Is there another team that you would have thought, all right, if you play for the Red Sox, would it have been a closer race? Like you could see them giving it to Cal Raleigh if you played in Boston instead of Seattle?
Yeah. Yes. Because their games are seen by more people. Sam Darnold is, doing unbelievable things in Seattle. Nobody's really focused on that. Now, you might say, well, Sam Darnold's shown us that, he can be good, not great. Okay. But he's still having an incredible year there. I just think location. And this is about New York real estate. Doing it in a Yankee uniform, they would have a monument built for him already. They'd have a plaque out there. Let's not kid anybody. Yeah, Dylan.
I feel like defensively that things have kind of gone by the wayside in the MLB too. Like for the Hall of Fame, defense wasn't really ever looked at too, and I feel like now for awards and stuff, it's not even like you don't get docked if it's bad, and it doesn't really help you out that much if it's good.
Yeah, but that's where I want people to realize this used to be a thing. My catcher is great. My catcher's out there every game. My catcher is developing a pitching staff. And hitting 60 home runs. Home runs. Yes, Paulie.
But, Dan, you remember a time in the 70s and 80s when if you had a very good catcher and they could hit over 250 and give you 20 home runs, that was like a luxury item because you had both.
Yeah.
Then you have those anomalies like Johnny Bench or Cal Raleigh where, like, he's both great at catching and great at hitting. And those come around 3 or 4 times in the past 40 years.
Yeah, Carlton Fisk was a great catcher, great hitter. Nobody is on par with Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench was, I think, the best defensive catcher, and he also was a great offensive hitter. But, it feels like that's a long time ago where we're not really factoring in defense. And I think you have to. In certain positions, certainly like catcher, you do. You have to factor that in. If it's a plus, I have to factor that in. If it's different, and he's a Gold Glove catcher. So I just think if he was catcher for the Yankees, this wouldn't have been close the other way, that he would have won the MVP. And then Shohei Ohtani, he's going to continue to be the odds-on favorite. As long as he's hitting and pitching, and hitting at a high level and pitching at a very good level, he's going to be your MVP. Because nobody can top that. And plus, when he is hitting, he's the only guy on the screen. When he's pitching, he's the only guy on the screen. So when you're watching, you get to watch him do all of this. When Travis Hunter was playing at Colorado, I had to wait for a replay if he did something on defense, or wait for a replay if he did something on offense. Ohtani is right there. You tune into a game, he's on the mound. You tune into a game, now he's at the plate. So I get to see him do both of these jobs at a very... I don't have to wait. I don't have to go, let me see the replay. Oh, was that, did he make the catch? Then we show you. Ohtani's right there. Yeah, Paulie.
And Ohtani, he casually had 55 homers this year with a season where he had an elbow procedure months before the season, and his entire availability was in question. And if you look at next year, he's going to hit 40-plus home runs in his sleep, and his pitching will be a lot more ramped up. He'll probably start 20 games.
I thought Schwarber would get a vote or two because he's so unique and so dangerous. And when you think of a leadoff guy, he's the last guy you think, that's my leadoff guy. But what a valuable player he was for Philadelphia. So he finishes runner-up. No shame in that. But Ohtani, unanimous. Yes, Todd?
Do you think pitchers figure out hitters better than hitters figure out pitchers? Like, I'm wondering, over the next few years with Shohei, however dominant he is and may become, will hitters come around to figuring out his style of pitching, and he won't be quite as effective in the next few years?
Well, he's only gone through the lineup maybe twice. Usually the third time is when managers and pitchers get nervous of teams kind of settling in, figuring you out. I'm curious if Ohtani adds another pitch eventually. But hitters are going to figure you out. And they're always looking for a tell. Then they talk to each other. They go back and look at video. So they're constantly they're studying you in the moment. And it feels like hitters eventually figure out the pitchers. Yes, Marvin.
Shohei's played 8 seasons in MLB. He's got 4 MVPs. Like, how many guys were surefire, no doubt Hall of Famers if they had stopped after year 8? I have to look year 8, I'm done.
Albert Pujols, probably. Yeah, Paulie.
The other thing with Ohtani, because the Dodgers batting him leadoff, they can't really intentional walk him that often. Barry Bonds in his prime batted third, and I think he had Jeff Kent behind him a lot. But Barry Bonds was once intentionally walked like 120 times in a season. It's freakish, by the way. Ohtani was intentional walked only 20 times last year, which seems low for him, but it still led the majors.